Hello and welcome to our glorious episode 5 of the Portal Hunter Club. Today my guest is Mr. Lad Golf.
Hello, Drew.
There's a lot going on in the Ingress world and we have a lot of stories to get to.
Right.
So let's get right into talking about the live game that's going to be happening starting this coming Saturday.
17th.
So, yes. So, Niantic has announced that they're going to have a global, I like to call it the preseason.
All right.
So, because they've announced their year plus worth of anomalies.
Sure.
But there's this little game that they're doing sort of as a, as like a preseason prep to get people going.
Get the dust off.
Yeah.
It's been a long winter.
Yes. So, it involves multiple cities with link stars. Linking two cities together and a global competition for portals online. So Monday, actually tomorrow, the vanguards are going to get information on which cities are going to need to do link stars.
Right.
So if your team has to do a link star, so to take Milwaukee, for example, where I'm from, the Resistance Vanguards will whisper in our ears, hey, you got to have a link star set up in Milwaukee. And they're going to give us a portal we need to use and a date or a time that we need to have it. We know the date. It's going to be Saturday. So, and then we have to get the link star up with 50 links at least.
At least.
And then we win.
Right.
But if Milwaukee, for example, is for the Enlightened, we're not going to know.
Right.
So you have to be ready to defend your cities. So it's going to be pretty crazy. And there's going to be 56 cities total, I think.
Isn't it 13 apiece? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. So it's 13 apiece, 26 per weekend. What's 26 plus 26? 52. 52.
Math.
52 cities total. And then if you are successful in the Link Star, then you get to go to the bonus round of having to try and link two cities together. So if we win Milwaukee, they could say, okay, Madison, you have to link to Chicago.
Sure. We don't get that information, though, without getting the 50 links, right? Did I understand that right in the rules?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's, you don't get to move on to round 2 unless you successfully complete round 1.
Right.
And then, but if your city is not picked, there's a global competition that's going on where every Saturday, starting on the 17th,
right.
17th, I think it's the 24th, whatever the next 4 Saturdays are, at 6 p.m. or 1800 UTC.
Okay.
So calculate for your time zone.
Always been bad at that.
Well, and it's daylight savings time, and I was like, don't be an hour late. At 6 p.m. UTC every Saturday, there's a checkpoint. And Niantic is going to take a score of how many portals are online for each team, and whoever has the most wins.
I think that's actually pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Just going out there, getting the random cities that are always gray, even more so than just your inside cities.
Yeah, there's a lot of random cities out there that either people don't touch
right?
or, yeah. So it's good for uniquing, it's good for planting potential guardians, right. All that kind of stuff. So... so it'll be really exciting, and the Portal Hunter Club is going to have, we will have, what do I want to say? We're going to have, we're going to talk about the scores, we're going to talk about the cities, we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff.
So you guys
the
are
day after,
the
right? Yeah, because
right?
we'll have our show going on Sunday. And we'll be able to talk about everything that happened the Saturday before.
Sure.
So this Saturday and next Saturday are phase 1 of the Dark XM research project. That's the link bursts. So if there's a link burst in your city, definitely help out. And if not, defend. You want to make sure to defend your city because you don't want the other team to get their link star up behind your back. And then if you complete phase 1, you're able to move on to phase 2 and try and link. And they said it's going to be links of, hundreds of kilometers through urban areas.
Right.
And the link has to be up during a certain checkpoint and everything. It's like a 5-minute window.
Almost like moving a shard, but there's no shard.
Right, yeah. Yeah. So, yes. And new rule number 1, all blue all the time.
Right.
So on for that global competition, which is going to happen all 4 Saturdays, you want to make sure that you're rolling out with your team, capturing as many capturing as many portals as you can. Make everything blue. Capture, link, whatever you can do to help out your team with this global game.
And keep the keys and recharge them.
Yes, because you want to keep those charged, obviously, for the next week, but also they might help defend.
Right.
So you want to keep all that stuff going on. Yeah, so I'm really excited for this new global game they have going on. Again, we'll be following all the action and everything, and hopefully have some, sit reps and those kind of things. Maybe we'll talk to some people. And
do you have insight on what Niantic was talking about when they said post your sit reps and you get bonuses?
So 2 things. For phase 1, you have to get a link star of 50 links.
Right.
If you get 100, 200, 300, so for every 100 links you are able to get, you get a special farming portal, and the farming portal will increase in output and item rarity the more links you get. So if you get 100 links in your link star, you get a farming portal. If you get 200, you get a better one, 300, and so on. And then also, if you post sit reps of what's going on in your towns, they'll if they like it, they'll also give you a farming portal. So make sure you take lots of pictures, take some screenshots of your link stars or defense fields or however you want to do your, that kind of stuff. Definitely post a lot of sit reps, because you'll be able to get a farming portal in your town too, even if you didn't have that kind of stuff going on. So,
sure.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure how to get involved, your local burn representatives are able to help you. So contact them.
Yeah, talk to your leadership, your engaged people, your whoever is around that knows what's going on. Or email the show. Why not?
Drew will tell you where to
go. Yeah. So that's really exciting. I'm excited that there's finally something, and this is a new game that they've never done before.
Right. Something
new. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on now with the global community. So, and again, this is the Dark XM research project,
official,
or what I call preseason,
right?
Because whichever team wins this competition, they're gonna get some kind of special something
aside from the points advantage going in.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know if this is included in that or not.
So they did talk about all these things are worth points,
right? But I think the points at the end determine something for the first round of anomalies.
For the actual anomalies.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. The rules are always so complicated. So make sure you read the rules yourself. Don't rely on what other people are saying, because there's already a lot of confusion going on. The only thing that matters is getting 50 links onto that portal at a checkpoint that you've been told to do. So
at the same time as making everything blue.
Right, yes.
Lots of things going on.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Yes. So, moving along to having you on the show now.
Right.
So
thank you for having me.
Yes. So where are you from?
Originally, I'm from a little town in north central Minnesota. Currently live in Janesville, Wisconsin, so about a little ways west of here.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And your how'd you get into the game?
I don't
know this, so This is going to be news for me too.
So I actually worked for Verizon for a long time,
mm-hmm.
and there was a point in time where Niantic partnered with Motorola for Ultra Strike.
Oh, right. Okay.
Before they were ever publicly released or anything like that. That
was like Minotaur time.
It was,
I think, right around. It was like
in between Minotaur and Recursion, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So there was a time where only Motorola phones could get the Ultra Strike,
right?
And they would put an Ingress card in every Motorola phone box.
Oh.
And so over time, selling Motorola
mm-hmm.
phones, I'm like, there's this card in every box.
Like
what is it for? So downloaded it, kind of got into it a little bit, and immediately started throwing links around town. Figured it out, so on. Started throwing links everywhere. Got yelled at in comm several times by people in the local community, and it kind of just spiraled from there, I guess.
Yeah, awesome. And then you've had lots of anomalies in Minneapolis that you've helped with, and St. Paul, and so you've sort of. I think a lot of players start, very small, taking over their neighborhoods, and then you just kind of run with it.
It goes and goes. You go to your first anomaly, you do your
yes.
first field, and you get more and more passion for it as it goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. Neat. That's so how did you get your game name?
My game name is or was at one point in time my Twitter handle.
Oh, okay.
No real rhyme or reason
okay.
to it. I play a lot of golf. I was a golf
Mhm.
instructor for a little while in my life, so golf and me and Lad's my last name, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
And one of the folks in the chat was saying that they bought a Droid Max, and that's how they started.
Yeah. Yep. Most of the Motorola phones.
I think Max, my friend Max, who emailed into the show to talk about how he started, I think he bought one of those phones, and he was able to get the Ultra Strikes and all that. And
they put a passcode on that little card in your box. And little did we know at the time what they were for, but it was like 50, 60 items. It was a pretty good passcode.
Yes, yeah, and it was weird because back then, there was a lot of debate on what Ultra Strikes did and how effective they were and all this stuff.
Some
and everyone's
people
like, just recycle them. Yeah, don't even bother with this. Whatever. I mean, now they're like crucial for anomalies and things.
And that was obviously well before we had like the Aegis shields, and before the Axis shields and everything like that. Yeah. So they've definitely gotten more valuable over time, I think.
So as you progressed through the game, you helped with a lot of major operations. You ran some of them. You assisted, and you've done some pretty crazy things over the course of your understatement of the year here. That Joe's done some pretty crazy things for the Resistance and for the game overall. So let's talk about you've helped with shards
a lot.
Yes. And for those who are unfamiliar with shards, it's sort of like, I compare it to soccer.
Okay.
And you have
but the world is your field.
And you have many soccer balls going at the same time.
Right.
And so you're trying to link. Eventually, you want to get the shards to the goal.
Right.
And so you're sort of passing it off to your teammates, your different cities, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And the other team might steal it from you, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So one of the anomaly series that they had shards going on was Shonen.
Yes.
And that was I know you said you're not good with dates, but let me see if I can remember. So Shonen was winter of 20... It was after Persepolis. That was 20... In winter of 2014.
It was before Persepolis. Shonen was before Persepolis.
You're right. Yeah.
Let me pull up my scanner. Look at the badges.
Look at the medals. Yeah. So, but it was in the winter. It was like sort of January, February, March. It was the first quarter. And one of the major resistance wins of that city was the Vegas one. Yeah. Where the Greens had the giant field. So we'll have to talk about that sometime. That was a pretty crazy story. But they had shards going on. And what was the name of the shard? Was that Bob?
There was a couple.
Yes.
Bob was the one that we had up on Lake Michigan, up in the UP at Whitefish.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
And Bob himself was all over the place.
I think to have Beerman to talk about his Bob stories.
Yep.
So
I was actually up there with them.
That's right.
Dave Beerman and I were all in the UP trying to handle 300-400 miles of the UP. Right. We originally had planned we were going to shoot it because our target was DC.
Right.
So we were going to shoot it east. And between the snow, there was crazy snow that day. I don't think I've ever seen snow that high. Like lake effect snow is apparently no joke. It was 4 or 5 feet on the sides of the road. So between the snow and between one of us, realistically, I was the one who was kind of the gopher because this was my first experience with shards. I was all gung ho, I'll do anything. Let's go.
That was one of the first. Oh, there was Helios, which was before that, but this was this was different. I don't know what it was about the Shonen shards, but this one was different, especially in the Midwest.
And this was my first one, so I couldn't speak to the ones before it.
Yeah.
So Bob ended up bouncing around the lake for a while. We were up in the UP. Short story with that one. We didn't end up getting it moved. We only had Dave Beerman and I up there for what the time was. We shot it back down to the lake.
Down to Chicago, yeah.
He bounced
and I had to call Terrence at 3 a.m. The shard's back on Montrose. Right. And I had to hold my phone out here. You could hear the screaming.
Yeah, because they sent it from down here back up to there, right?
Right. And
then we
Dave
sent it
had
right
no
back
keys.
There.
He's like, well, I got Montrose. Okay. There's more people in Chicago. Let's send it there.
So I think we ended up bouncing that one around the lake for like a week.
Yes.
Because the weekend after is when we merged Bob and Fluffy together.
Right, yes, okay.
And Fluffy came down. She went over to, or he, whatever we want to call him, he, she, it, went over to the Grand Forks Air Force Base, and we pulled it down onto Big Island Regional Park, which is an island in the middle of Lake Minnetonka.
Yes.
Purify yourself in Lake Minnetonka. Oh, man. So yeah, that one, that might be one of the craziest stories I have, I think, just because we pulled it down to this island, and this was, like you said, it was like March, April timeframe. So in Minnesota, that's like ice out, where the ice is starting to melt, everything's coming in. So we're thinking, putting it on this island is perfect. Nobody is dumb enough to walk out there except for me.
Right.
But yeah, we did. We were safe. We were safe. We went out there a couple of times, tested the ice, everything like that. But so we pulled Fluffy down to the island. At that time, it was like 8-hour windows.
Right. Yeah. The jumps were they were not frequent jumps. Because
no, it was a bit.
The first shards, there was like hourly jumps or like 2 hours, and it was just ridiculously. Sure. You couldn't get people together to do
fast
stuff,
enough,
and
right,
so then they're like, okay, we'll give you 8 hours,
sure.
And then it's like, well, now we have too much time, and you're So.
They still didn't figure out after that though. They went to 12 hours, the next series, and that was brutal.
And it was like then they did like a long, and it like shortened as the thing went on, and it was It's tough. So anyway, so the shard is in
Grand Forks. It was at the Air Force Base,
and you're trying to get it because we need to get it to Washington D.C.
That was the ultimate goal. Yeah. Right. Yep.
But when you're moving these shards, you want to have them in a place that's secure for your team. You don't want the other team coming and stealing it, like the soccer analogy.
Right.
So
we've learned over time, I guess, as we've evolved in Shard Series and learned that better to have it in somewhere that you can actually get your people to versus somewhere secure. This was an exception because it was almost so secure that
no one's gonna
go. Right. So yeah, we pulled it down successfully. The first jump, like first window down, we got the lanes clear. It was great. Second window, so
because now we got to get it out.
Right. We got it there. Now what do we do with it? So we got it there, and I think, and I'm bad with like overall general things, but I think it was in some kind of loop up there, and it was at like its last spot before it had to move.
Yes. Yeah.
So time was definitely against us. So we moved it down, I want to say at like 11 or 12 at night, because that's when we had to move it. Right. So we ended up going there, being there from 10 to midnight, watching it, making sure everything was cleared, getting everything set up, things like that. And then we stayed overnight. So me and a buddy, Ebony, ended up staying on the island overnight. And this place it's just an island, like on a lake. There's 2 portals there, I want to say. So there's a little like hut or shelter or something like that there. Winter, 24 degrees outside, no heat, no electricity, huddling up for warmth on this little island. And then the time came to get it moved. And I want to say that our lane wasn't open. Like we missed our first window on that. So we had been there for, 12, 14 hours at this point. We were up all night just making sure nothing was going on, preparing for the jumps. So we left, and we came back 4 or 5 hours later to prepare for the next window. And we actually had some greens that came out there at that time. So we had rechargers going, and we were shielding.
I think I was recharging that one because I had a key to that. Yeah.
But yeah, so we did end up getting it out that second jump. But being on that island with the ice in such a state that it was, and staying out there all night, and it was a pretty wild night. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
We do have some pictures. Let's see if we can. Okay, so that's the portal.
Yep, and that's it with the shard.
That
was actually Whitefish when we had the the portal up in the
Bob one.
Yep. Okay. So that was Bob. And Bob and Fluffy, we ended up getting them met together in, I want to say we got them together in Iowa, is how that whole thing went.
I think so, yeah, because they was in Chicago and then somehow... Yeah.
Poor Bob, man, because he got bounced down and then he got bounced around, and then you guys shot him through Madison to get him back out of there.
Yes, yeah, the Congo line.
Moral of the story is they both scored.
Yes,
we did score both of them, so victory. Yay.
We got So that's, I think, on the island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the shard. So that's what the shard looks like. It kind of looks like a fracker, but you got the little piece there.
So that wasn't Lightman shards. The blue was blue. Lightman was red. Man, my memory is not.
Which, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe one of your
Yeah.
viewers can tell us
Yes.
if they remember what
right.
series that was.
Okay, so that's like where the portal was, and that's kind of where you were parked.
There's some gray area with this.
Yeah.
Technically, the park itself was closed
Yeah.
at dark time, so we had to prove that we could hack the portal
Yes.
and be on the portal
Right. Yeah.
at a reasonable
Well, you're
time.
right, yeah.
Did we stand on the lake the entire time? I will not say that we did, but we could prove that we could have.
Yes. There you guys are.
Yep, and that's Ebony. So that's the dude that hung out there all night with me on the middle of the lake.
And there's the goal, so you could see all the shards on there, and
I did not have a better picture. I want to say we ended up scoring 13.
yeah, that
all
was
of
the
them
13.
into the Washington Monument.
It was 13-0.
Yep.
For Shonen for the Resistance. So we were, and many of those went through the Midwest.
Yeah, they did,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
That was a little hut that
Yeah.
we were in.
There you are. Yeah.
Well, that's not me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Awesome.
that was good. 13-0 for those shards. And I liked it's hard to say what I've liked better out of the shard series that I've been involved in. I like just having the two goals.
Right.
Because I want to say they didn't flip them because there was series where they flipped targets at certain times.
Right.
They added more at certain times. Just having the one goal, knowing where you had to get it, I like that a little better, I think.
Yeah, so you've done some, and that's only story number
That's just one of the stories,
yes.
right.
Yes, there was, there's Thor, Iowa.
Right.
Which, that one I compared to, we heard Intel, which, I can't remember what series that was. Maybe that was
those were lightning shards.
So,
what series it was with? It was those were Persepolis shards.
Yeah, we found out that there was going to be a shard spawning in Thor, Iowa. But the Enlightened, I don't think, knew. Maybe I don't remember how it all.
However, advanced Intel worked, right?
So Thor, Iowa is a town with 3 portals. There's
total
like
portals.
The firehouse, the post office, and the
church.
library, church.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is how I compare that one too. So a shard spawns, and immediately both teams are trying to get to the portal because they want. So if you've seen Mad Max Fury Road, where it's like the train of all these cars and all these crates, that's how I picture. So there's these 2 convoys just about to descend upon this town, of this very sleepy town in the middle of nowhere, Iowa.
And it was wild because we had, I kid you not, we had semi-truck drivers that were coming into the town, stopping their semis to get some action on this portal.
And awesome. Yeah, and so I think we were successful in getting that one somewhere. I think, is that the one that went to...
That series, I want to say the Beacon was one of the targets in LA or San Diego or wherever that one was.
And that was one, I was in LA like 2 months before visiting a friend, and Niantic had shown these 2 pictures. It's like, here's the targets, figure out where the heck they are.
Sure.
And I saw the picture and I immediately knew where it was because that target is... it's in Santa Monica. As you're coming up from the Pacific Coast Highway, there's like a ramp up to get up to like the town because there's sort of a bluff.
Sure.
And as you're going up, there's a couple of portals, but it's in sort of an awkward spot because you can't really walk there. It's a bluff and the road is kind of there.
Sure.
So it's hard to get on that portal. But we happened to be, I was with my friend. I was just randomly capturing portals just for fun and getting uniques.
Yeah.
And I hacked a key to this portal. So I'm immediately like, I have a key to this portal. Oh, and that was the one. It was Dave, Andy, and I think you were there too, where we're like, the first go, I gave Dave my one key to the portal.
Yeah.
We're like,
we were going to go.
We're going to shock the world. We're going to score it because I randomly had a key from uniquing Santa Monica.
Right. First
and
jump.
We planned
on this. We were going to go.
We were so close. I think we had like 2 or 3 blockers in the Rocky Mountains that we just couldn't get to.
That was the Utah conflict.
Yes. One of the many.
Right. Love you, Utah.
So, yes. Yeah. Pony Riders and all that. So that was, these shards, they have these crazy stories. So with this new game coming out, I think especially because there's going to be
52.
52 cities, and plus you're defending, plus you got the links going on between even more cities. So
right, and depending on where you are, you're going to be offensive, you're going to be defensive. At the same time, it's just trying to make everything blue. So everybody's going to be involved. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so it's going to be a month of just craziness, and there's going to be a lot of people will have their own stories. So hopefully we can have some of those on the show, and people can talk about their experiences with the Dark XM research project and see.
And that's the beauty of this game, right? Like, we all that have played this for even a short amount of time or the longest amount of time have these stories. I went to this anomaly and this crazy thing happened, or I recharged this portal every 4 hours for 2 weeks trying to get a shard in. Like, that's the beauty of this game, right? Everybody has something about it that they remember specifically, that they really, really like about it.
And it's cool because everyone has those stories, everyone has their own version or their own opinion of what's the craziest stories.
Right.
And I think both you and I, when we were first starting out in the game, were the same way, where it's like, they invited me to a farm and I hopped into this random person's car, and that was the craziest thing that I've ever done. And, you know, we're rolling around town, and then, hey, we're going to...
Yes. The dude I just met.
Right, yeah, we took a boat out to a lighthouse, or we were sitting, on an island, and then, the stories just get wilder and wilder as you progress in this game, and it's cool. So
definitely if lost you're just years starting, off my life.
If you're just starting this game, it's exciting because you're doing it. It seems
fresh. It's
right.
New.
Yes,
absolutely.
Everyone has their own opinion of what's the craziest thing they've done in the game. So yeah, so shards are coming up. We've got the global game coming up.
Plus all our anomalies for the next year are basically laid out in front of us.
Right, and I bought a mobile setup for interviewing people at anomalies.
Nice.
So I'm excited to have that, and we can try and live stream. I'm experimenting with live streaming and going mobile with some of this stuff, and it'll be cool.
You're gonna wear the Moo hat for that sort of thing?
Oh, absolutely. We gotta have them. I mean, that's the logo, so we gotta have the Moo hat, and I'll be doing. So for the XM research project, we'll be doing a wrap up every week of what's been going on, as much as we can. This is the first time, and it's a new game, so we're just sort of gonna do it live and see what happens. And as the anomalies progress, we'll have live scorekeeping. We'll have interviews with people. I mean, this is the show to watch. If you're not able to go to an anomaly, we've got a lot of big things coming up for anomaly broadcasting.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm trying to get myself to be the John Madden of Ingress.
So stay tuned.
So yeah, I need that. I need a
tell us. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun
coming onto the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, watch the show. In the next 4 weeks, you'll get wrap-ups of what's been going on with the Dark XM research project. We've got all the anomalies coming up. If you haven't been to an anomaly, go to an anomaly. Check out the Ingress website for all the cities and stuff.
Ingress.com/events.
Yes. Yeah, we want to see you, and maybe you'll see a Portal Hunter Club reporter or something of that nature at one of the anomalies. Maybe me. Maybe you can be interviewed live on the show. I know I'll be going to several anomalies, and we'd love to have people on the show. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will see you all next week.